What's up, Dad? What's up, Dad? What's up? What's up, Dad? What's up?
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Hey, everybody. This is the What's Up Dad podcast here. It is episode, I have no idea because we stopped counting it, and we are at it. My trusty host is back this week, Ryan.
Hello.
And we are here to have tons of fun.
Yeah, Nala was upset that I sat in this chair.
So we came down tonight to do the podcast. Nala mopes on down here thinking, woo, I'm going to go do a podcast. But Ryan, she followed Ryan down. I literally thought.
She was jumping on me as I was walking over here.
I literally thought to myself, she's going to trip you to like try to break your neck, come
Yeah,
down
where
the
is she?
stairs just so she could take you out and not
Yeah,
let you go.
she was trying to.
Yeah, she flew down the stairs like up under your legs, like trying to.
Because you were giving her what kind of treats last week? What were those? Beef liver.
Beef
Yeah.
liver, yeah.
So she's like, I'm getting beef liver tonight.
Yes.
She was.
Yeah, that's
pumped.
great. That is fantastic. And you asked me, so here's the deal. You asked me, do I like having a co-host or somebody to sit, just because of this interaction right here,
Oh, yeah.
guys, like that is priceless in the conversation piece. Like sitting next to my dog trying to have this general conversation doesn't work.
The
guys.
dog, yeah.
The dog, miraculously, she doesn't have thumbs, nor can she talk back,
Yeah.
right? So I got, that's about where it's at.
Can we talk about that real quick? So last week, I'm not here. I send you the questions. I watched the episode. It was actually kind of interesting watching it from my point of view, not being here. I kind of enjoyed it, frankly. But of course, I was the one that asked the questions and things. I like how at the beginning you thought that the questions were going to go kind of nowhere because the first couple were like softball, like,
Yep.
hey, just kind of start it, and then it got deeper and it was good. So
no,
Yeah.
I was. I'll be honest with you. I was extremely thankful for that. I really didn't, and as I shouldn't have. I didn't look at the questions. I really wanted first view. Honestly, well, okay, let me take that back. The only question I saw was the bottom because like how you sent it, and I had to scroll up,
Yeah.
but I didn't read it. Like mentally, my eyes saw it, so like there was like whatever, like mentally it probably knew what the question was, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? If like you saw something, so like my eyes set on it, but I didn't physically read it. And so by the time I got to the top, I didn't read back up. I just went to the top and then scrolled down just enough to catch the next question because I didn't want to lead myself on. I really wanted to take it one step at a time, give it a solid on the fly answer. And that's what I asked you for. When I called you, you were in bed or whatever because you were just knocked out of the week, like a crazy week. And I was like, man, I need like 10 minutes from you. Put this together, and 15 minutes later, you sent this to me, and I was like, "Oh crap, he was serious!" Like, because I was gonna just do one on the fly. Like,
I threw in bonus questions too.
did.
Yeah,
you did. You
That's
put the
good.
whole gambit together.
Can I ask you though, what question do you feel like threw you off the most, or you weren't prepared to answer?
I don't think there was any necessarily that I wasn't prepared to answer. There was just a little bit of a common theme. I will tell you, not in no negative, right? But you asked me, right? So I'm an honest person.
Don't give me any negative.
I felt like there were some that were a little overlapping and repetitive.
Oh, okay.
That's my only thing.
I didn't use ChatGPT. Like I wrote the actual questions out. Yeah.
I get it.
You would have used ChatGPT.
Absolutely. I would have wrote my questions out, used ChatGPT to meld it together.
And it would have said, hey, all these questions are the same.
Yeah, they're all the same. Like, you should do this again. Like, it would have told me that I'm dumb. And not, you weren't dumb. But
maybe
like,
you interpreted the questions the same, but they were actually different.
that's a possibility. But again, I did read them out loud, verbatim, off the paper. So, I mean, again, you got feedback for me. I'd love to hear it.
And Nala was no help.
She didn't stop me anywhere. She was like, hey, dummy, come on. Like,
she's like, these are the same questions over and over again. Give me some more beef liver.
Yeah, I know. I know. She was so what's also funny is, and I don't know if it caught it on the camera, but at the end, she finally got comfortable and she laid down in the chair. Like, instead of just sitting up like one of these right here, she was like all the way laid down, curled up in the chair. Just like, I was like, I didn't realize, and it took me a minute to get her out of here. Like, she was ready to locked in for the long haul. And I was like, sweetheart, we're going to bed. Like, I got to go upload this episode. I've got to pull it all together. I got to pull the stuff. And I'm like, we got to get. So it was funny.
It's good.
Yeah. Anyways, but Before I let you segue into today's topic, Ryan's in control of this one today. Well, we have talked a little bit about it, but he's going to give us the segue into today's topic. We do have a product review that he has no idea about.
Oh,
hopefully you've not had this. You'll notice we are empty glassless here.
I see that.
You see this? You
a Dasani, yeah.
got a water, but what I have, hopefully you haven't had before. I have. So it's a review for you.
It's a food item.
Yeah,
a drink item.
It's a drink item. It's a drink item.
Okay, cool. We're doing it now? Oh, all right.
Have drinks for the rest of that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like kind of like, what are we doing?
Have you had a apple? A Busch Light apple?
A apple. I've never had a apple.
Well, this is a limited edition. Guys, you're in for a real treat here. I saw today at the store.
That's cool.
I got some Bapples. I have not seen these yet, and they just popped out for the season. So, my man.
Thank you. Isn't Bapple? Is Bapple spring? I don't know. I feel like that's more like winter.
I felt so too, but the fact that they said it was out, I was kind of taken back, and I was like, well, we're Bappling it up tonight. I mean, it feels very fall-y, if you ask me.
First thing I always go to is like calories, but they don't. They're like, no, we're not putting anything. I guess they don't put them on cans.
11.8 carbs and 130 calories.
Oh, I see it. Yep, you're right. Right there. I completely missed it, and I haven't even had a drink of it yet.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, low in calories. Oh, it says light right there.
It is light. Yeah. That's only if it were regular, man. I couldn't handle it. It should be thicker than a Snickers. I mean,
it says light lager with natural flavor. There's that natural flavor again. I don't know
about you guys, but natural flavoring scared me.
Yeah.
So,
what else does it say? Of course, it can cause birth defects, and you should not operate machinery.
Man, I just love the overall perspective. But a good pop. Let's make sure it sounds good. Here we go.
Nice.
Just like a beer.
You probably couldn't hear that, but that was good.
Oh, that's right. That's going to get cut out by the thing. Off the rip, can you smell it?
I can
from that far away.
I can smell apple.
That?
Yeah.
Right? I will say
You've not had this yet?
I've had it.
You've had
it. Yeah.
Well, come on.
So I'm sorry. No, dude. All right.
It does look like when does it expire?
No, they're brand new.
All right.
They're brand new.
The smell.
It's got apple.
I have a sad story about this. Busch. Well, I'm not even going to say it. Never mind.
Okay.
The smell makes me think of a bad childhood memory. But I want to. Is it bad that I want to drink it more? Like,
it's a bad childhood memory that we're gonna drown with the Bapple, baby.
Here we go. All right, let's do it.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Really good.
Nothing wrong with it.
Doesn't even taste like beer.
No. Good news is I got 2 more for us. So
wow,
we're gonna go through the.
What's
is not bourbon tonight.
What's the alcohol in here?
I don't know.
None. It's just apple. Oh, 4.1%.
It's light. It's light. Hold on. Let's go ahead and get these out.
Here we go.
The bucket here.
Did you guys go see that movie?
We did go see that movie. Here we got 2 more. I wish I had an ice bucket of this.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into that, guys. If you've not seen, this was a fantastic Super Mario Galaxy movie. This was fantastic, by the way.
We want to go. It just came out, so you guys must have went recently.
We went like first or second. I don't know. The kids were out of school. Oh, that Friday.
Like, was that spring break?
No, like a couple weeks ago they were out of school.
Yeah.
They were out of school again for another.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So Beth, we got like 9:30 in the morning tickets. It was like 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 30% off or whatever.
Yeah,
that's good.
Dude, I can't afford. Dude, when she was like, "All right, it's $87 for the family to go," I'm like, "No, it's not. Can we get discounted rate?"
Yeah.
Like, so we're like 9:30 in the morning. Hey guys, we're going to the movie theater.
We're eating popcorn. Yeah, dude, we got soda. It's
filled this thing up, man. Oh my god.
You could have took your Busch Light apple with you at 9:30 in the morning.
Absolutely. What do you think?
I like it a lot, and I'm trying to understand. Limited edition Busch Light apple. Not a lot of Busch flavor, which I'm not complaining about.
No,
you can smell. If you smell it, just smell it. You don't really smell the apple. You smell more of the Busch. It has that distinct flavor. Busch does. Yeah, but it's good.
This is fantastic.
It feels refreshing.
It is. That's why I think it's a summer beer for them, because now they have a peach one. I think they have another one. Yeah, they have a peach one. But I will tell you that this is a fantastic pool beer. Like out you're at the park, right? You're doing something like party park. Like this is a fantastic beer. This is like, I'm gonna go mowing. I'm gonna drink one of these bad boys. Like this is a good beer to have. Like it's just the right amount of sweetness and the right amount of bush.
Right. I'm not a beer drinker really at
I'm
all.
not really a beer drinker,
but I would drink this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's good.
And these are not ice. These were in the refrigerator for a while, but they're not ice cold. But I tell you what, when they're ripping cold, like you can barely hold them. You got to put them in a koozie, man. These things, it is like
what's that? Who's the brand that does the you see how cold it is and it colors the mountaintops? Is it Coors Light? No, but when it's cold, it's like turns it blue.
I don't know. That's how much beer I don't drink.
Yeah, you don't know. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. That's strong.
I think
right
it's
there.
good.
I think I don't think there's anything wrong with the 9.
Yeah.
On a beer level, we're easily in the 9s. Easily in the 9s. And I'm sorry if you disagree with me at this point in time, it's okay. You don't have to have good taste in beer.
Yeah. I'm not giving it a 10 because simply I don't like beer.
Yeah. But
otherwise, like it's as high as it can go.
I'm saying though, like this is a solid 9. Yeah, easily. And the only thing that would be better is not drinking a beer.
Yeah,
right. That's better, right? Like you know what I'm saying? Like hey, like
drinking water would have been.
Honestly, I'd probably put a water as like a 10 versus like the beer. You know what I'm saying? Like that would give me a 10. I'm just kidding, but nonetheless,
that's good.
All right, cool. Well,
nice surprise. Thank you.
That's great. So we got a surprise review there. So let's get into the topic of the night. We are right into it. We have learned from you guys. You want to hear it. You want to see it. You want the topic. So we are not skipping a beat. We're getting right into it.
Did we kind of skip a beat though because we're about what? How about
11 minutes?
Okay. We skipped a little bit. Yeah, not bad.
We're not very far at all.
We're delaying the inevitable, which is the topic of tonight.
All right. Well, hopefully that sounds like it's a bad thing. So lay it on us. What's the topic? What are we going through? We had a couple down on paper, so I'm not sure what you're leading with here. Choose wisely.
Yeah. I think we're going to go strong tonight because, again, the news dictates different thing. You don't watch the news. You said you haven't seen any news stories. There were some news stories again this week as it relates to domestic disputes, mental health situations. There's a family that tragically lost their lives. Don't know what state it was. But as it related to a husband and wife in a dispute, the husband, the dad, chose to basically murder his entire family and then committed suicide. After that, and the whole thing, it's in the news and all the details are still coming out, that sort of thing. But it's something that we've touched on multiple times is mental health specifically with men.
Okay.
Dad. I mean, this one hits it all, right? Men, father, dad, guy,
dude,
probably a son. Of course, he's a son.
Got to be something.
So
right? He's checking off a lot of boxes.
He's checked every single box in that situation. Family man, by all accounts, 40s, mid 40s. 7, 8 kids, and so I'm sure when it comes out more information, he's probably a quote unquote great guy who's a family man. He does all this stuff for his family and yada, yada, yada. And everyone will come across and say, I'm shocked. I can't believe it. I would have never expected it. And yet here we are with another news story, again and again and again and again with these situations that come up. Ian, kudos, I don't know if that's the right word, but to the people who just choose to go through this and just end their, maybe they commit suicide. They said, I'm out. I'm not going to hurt anyone else. Right. So you have those folks that do that.
Wait, you say kudos to that? I'm confused.
Well, kudos to that versus what this guy did and what other people.
Okay. Wow, that guys, please make sure you're still watching.
Yeah.
I'm no. Wait a minute, where are we going?
We'll shut it down. Okay. Yeah. No. Kudos to that versus like what other people choose to just completely wipe out entire families, or even worse than that when they go into like
other people and
churches, schools, etc. All those kinds of things. And so but I think that you have the spectrum there of people that do crazy, wild things. But again, it all comes back to the challenges with maybe mental health, and maybe that word is just getting floated around.
I think so. It's an overused word.
Maybe it's overused, and that's part of the conversation I think we could have tonight. Is that, but also, why does it get to this point, right? Why do these things happen in the way that they do? I know that there's a lot of conversation about, all right, well, this situation was just, just frustrated. And, you kind of, as a guy or as a person, maybe you have these reactions that are just, but for me, I mean, a reaction really is like, I got to take a walk around the block.
Absolutely.
And I'll come back. Like, that's like
Yeah.
me really angry. Like, I'm going to take a walk. And maybe that's what we can start and get into a little bit is like, not only talking about the issue at hand, but like, how do we deal with that? And how does a normal person typically deal with that? Not to say that we're all normal by any means,
Sure.
but how do people deal with this? And again, we share our faith a lot, but I think that again, we have a situation here in which, you have Satan working in these situations and whatever is happening. And these people, again, don't know them, don't know all the stories yet, but it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's a lot. So let me real quick, as I broke up the kudos statement. So I think I want to clear the air. There's nothing good about loss of life, right? So there was no kudos to, hey, you took yourself out. That's not what that was meant. Is there's different spectrums of things that happen, and you have what is best case, worst case scenario. It's singled out, and then it's all worst case beyond that, right? In a certain sense, right? As somebody that's lost a family member, lost family, understand suicide, mental health, and stuff like that. I get where you're going with that, and hopefully those that are watching understand where we're coming from. There was nothing. There's nothing good out of any of this, right? There was no kudos was maybe the wrong word used, but that's the reality. I want to clear that air because this is a touchy subject and super. It's a lot, right? It's a lot, and yeah, it's a lot, and you're right. I mean, we all have different vices. We all have different coping mechanisms. We all have different perspectives. We all have different life situations we've been through and just A, B, and C, X, Y, and Z, right? Like it's different for everybody. And the given time and situation is different. And, people also just snap, right? Like there's various versions of that. And so we have to be careful because we don't want to bucket all these in one thing. Right. I truly think we could talk about like the mental, like we could talk about different versions of this as well, and maybe a multi-step episode, right? And us getting into different things because some of the stuff that comes to my mind is like there's different levels of mental health that we all deal with. And you talk about the faith-based, you talk about like how we're dealing and how Satan's working on us. Well, we can have a whole episode on Satan literally in our lives. Like I'll throw this out there right now, and this could be a future podcast of conversation. I used this in a group in our small group the other day. Well, it was the perspective of if everybody took what burdens they had and put it in a bucket, would you be willing to grab any of those burdens?
Yeah.
Like how willing are you to do that? You know what I mean? We think what we got is going on bad, but we can see everybody else. And so like just the ability to deal with that. So again, I think we can handle this conversation in stages, handle this conversations in different pieces and break it down as much as possible. Right. I also think deep down inside, we all deal with some version of mental health. It's just where we at in the stage of it and where it's affecting us. And sometimes we work through it easier than others, and it comes back to haunt us. And then the next time it's something small and it's nothing. And then, so it's like different levels of how we manage that. We talked about earlier, do we want to have a conversation about finances, which I think eventually we will. And the reason I wrap this back up and I bring this out there as far as like a future topic is because mental health and finances for men are like this. They're intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we're the quote unquote breadwinners of the family. And as we are not able to provide due to whatever circumstances we're dealing with, mental health is the devil just beating us down. We're not worth it. We can't do it. We're not good enough. We're not able to make enough. We can't provide. We can't this. We can't that. So it's like it's literally taking a worldly aspect of our finances and turning it upside down on us and attacking us from an angle that we're just not prepared for. Right? I mean, because we're all trying to be the Joneses. We're all trying to do, so it's like, okay, there's a topic.
Yeah.
Right? There's topics about I think we could break this into the premarital side and the dating phase and the honeymoon phase and the pre-kids and the kids in the postpartum side and the post-kids and the it's like there are so many pieces. So I guess my question back to you is, where do we want to start?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe where do we take tonight? And then where do we lead into the next episode?
Yeah. Great question.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Right? You weren't ready for that.
I thought I already answered that question.
I don't know if you did. That's
because
why I'm asking
I led the show tonight and I kind of spun it, but you spun it back to me. So here we go. This is what happens because this is live and we do a one take. Yeah, I think that. Well, I want to ask the question. First and foremost, when you get to the moment that you're frustrated, or you have like dark thoughts or whatever, or you're getting into a conflict with your spouse or your kids or whatever, what do you what's kind of your reaction? What do you do in those situations?
So I think it's twofolded, and how you just asked that, I think there's two different pieces to it. Okay, so I think we're able to have dark thoughts and we're able to have frustrations and everything. But then we also have times where we have dark, let's call it dark thoughts and frustrations with our spouses. So it's like you have lively and worldly perspectives that are going on, and what do we do there? And then we have internal items, and these are internal over here. The left side's internal as well too, because we're dealing with that internally. But home internal items, which is frustrations and dark thoughts and feelings towards our spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's look at both of those.
Okay.
External. So we'll start with external. I am a big proponent of communicating with my spouse. Like, I'm communicating with the Lord. So let me preface this. Like, I'm always going to be communicating with the Lord. I'm praying about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm in his word. I'm trying to figure it out. Right. I'm trying to let him figure it out for me, because he already knows it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to let his way guide my way. Right. And whatever version of statement you want to utilize that, I'm trying to let his word guide me in the situation, and continue to relinquish control. I talked about that in my solo podcast, of like the struggle of when life is, I feel like I can understand God's perspective when life is chaotic or really freaking good, but I struggle to understand it when we're in the midst, like in the easy parts, like in the waiting game, the patience part. So it's like, okay, first and foremost, taking it to God. That happens on both sides. So I don't think there's any different perspective there on that, other than when it's going to God with my spouse. And I say this because I feel like we get to the word together in certain senses. It's easier for my wife to lead me biblically, right? Trying to make sure I'm wording this right. Like, It's like, hey, but God, like, if I'm struggling with something, hey, my wife would be like, hey, but God would say this. You know what I mean? It's easy for her to say that because I'm not fighting with her.
Sure.
Right? Like, I'm opening up to her. We're having conversations. She's trying to help me get grounded in the Lord, in the word, and grounded within our marriage, in who I am and who God's made me to be and where we're at. Right? So it's like, okay, that's all happening there. You take the other side, and so if you're watching the video, that's over here, right? That's the external version. But if I'm in the internal side, I think that happens at a different rate. I wish I could change it, though. I wish I would be able to pull that forward. But by human design and nature, we don't allow that. We have to get things off our chest earlier and not allow that to come together quicker. Right? Because we have to both be right. We have to both, we're on our own little pedestals, dealing with our own little thing and our own little frustrations and stuff like that. And, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but like, we've done counseling. So Beth and I have done counseling, and we did it for a long period of time. Over communication. Like, we didn't do it because we hate each other. We didn't do it because our marriage was in shambles. We didn't do it for any other reason other than we noticed our communication was starting to struggle in various ways. Now, we spend 24/7 together. We work together with everything. We are literally attached to each other in all business and life aspects. So it's like, when like I have to communicate with her. Good, isn't it? It's really good. It's really freaking good. So like I have to communicate with her. So I realized, and we realized, and she realized that we needed to figure out a better way to communicate. And what we found out through that is that we're not communicating enough with the Lord in order to communicate enough together.
Yep.
Right. So that's that scenario. So it's like I wish I could pull that in. So I'll let you get back into this, but those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I wrote down what you said, which I think is the whole crux of what you just said, which is let God lead me in these conversations.
Yeah.
And I think that when we think about these situations that occur when folks get in these difficulties, obviously God is not. Obviously, people are not letting God lead them in those situations. God wants to, but we might be so consumed with whatever Satan.
We see red.
We see red. We want, whatever Satan has on our mind or whatever he wants to consume us with. And, it's some people may say that, that's cliche, or yeah, of course everyone would say that. But in reality, if you truly do it and you truly believe it, I think there would be less of these situations that we have. And there would be less, disputes, and there would be less, all of those kinds of things. Yeah, we live in a sin world. We were watching, it's funny because, not to throw it off here, but we were watching Superbook. Have you watched that?
No.
It's a kid's show where they go back. So it's like robots and some kids, they go back in time.
Okay, I'm following.
And they go back to the beginning of time.
Okay.
And they're there and they're like seeing it all happen. And there's this moment when the kid is like watching Satan at the tree tempt Eve.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, if I could just jump in there and stop that from happening, kind of thing, right?
Sure.
Like he's like there, he wants to do that, he doesn't do it, but that's what they're doing. So they're traveling through time in all these places. It's called Superbook. But and so you think about those situations in which, of course, right, that none of this that we do, none of these things are God's original intention. It's not God's design, yet here we are.
Yeah.
And so I think that piece of it is so easy, maybe, for Christians to understand. And maybe I'm not saying that right, but in those moments it's so hard to think about. And it's so hard to grasp, like, hey man, I'm frustrated, or I'm angry, or this person just did this to me, and so I'm gonna lash out or do this, instead of letting God lead you in that situation. And so
well in one scenario we all carry, I'm gonna throw this word out there, addictions. Right? I might not have an addiction to alcohol or addiction to drugs or pornography or food, or pick one, right? I might not have an addiction to that, but what I may have an addiction to is my sin nature. I may have an addiction to my worldly input or output, my worldly views. And so the quicker I jump to push that aside, there's my addiction kicking in to, hey, I need to be of the world and looking at the worldly things and letting that lead and guide me, versus of the word and letting that lead and guide me. Right? It's easy to put a value, a perspective on something that's more tangible or what is more naturally talked about. It's very difficult to put something on something that's kind of innate and very, it's just our everyday actions. Right. And so we will jump back into what led us there, because that's where we felt comfortable. And that comfortability also brought the sin, and the comfortability brought the turmoil, the comfortability brought all that stuff. But we're like, that's where we're comfortable, and this is going to work us out, and this is going to figure it out. You know what I mean? Because what that is that us taking charge, leading, and not letting God and the Holy Spirit lead through. Right.
And you think about those situations, and whenever something like that happens, I always think back to like my worst fight or my worst dispute, like with my spouse, let's say, with my wife. I can't think back on any time where it's like, oh, I still remember when she did that, or I did that, or there was anger here or anger there. I can't. Like right now, sitting here, I can't think of a fight or an argument from more than whatever months ago or weeks ago or years ago. Can't think about it.
Sure.
I don't remember. I don't recall it. It's out of my mind. Clearly not a big deal.
Sure.
Um,
But that one time. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah,
I understand.
So I think about these situations, and again, not to keep on kind of tying it back to, these things that are in the news or these things that we hear about, but it's like, what if, you would have just done this? What if you would have just let God lead you through that situation? Just a few minutes, take a walk, do something, pick
Yeah.
up your Bible.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it doesn't even have to just
could
be that. Like you're right. I think
Yeah.
take the walk, take a deep breath, take a moment. We get so far, and the thing about it is, and I oftentimes think it this way, like we're all one step away from bad.
100%.
We're not
Yeah.
100 degrees away from something. We are one decision away
Yes.
from terribleness.
Yeah.
Right? Like bad,
Yeah.
bad. Like, and I think we all take it for granted that we've not hit that because, we get away with all these little ones, right? All this little stuff is it's like, hey, I won. I sped today. I won. Didn't get caught by the police. Hey, I rode and I was on my phone today while I was driving. Didn't get caught by the police. Hey, I drove without my seatbelt today. Hey, I
Yeah.
did this. I did that. And I didn't do all that today, guys. But like in reality, like that we're winning, right? We're winning. But it only takes, we're 1 degree
Yeah.
from that. And the sad thing is, we're 1 degree in the perspective of it's not even a decision that we have to consciously make. It could happen to us. It happens on us, with us, like for us, right?
Yeah.
And it's taking out of our hands.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Right.
it's mind-boggling. And so, like, the way I look at it is why live and why dive and dove into those perspectives without, in my opinion, without the Lord on our side, right? And like you talk about is like not having these fights to go back on and look on. So, like, if we have those, like that's pent up issues that we need to deal with. If we're not dealing with those, I mean, guys, like if you're not dealing with your marital issues that you have going on, you're letting them go to bed. If you're going to bed angry, if you're not waking up and finding resolution and getting somewhere and having fruitful conversations about it all, like there is zero, like zero real arguments that should occur. Right. And that goes back to the conversations that we talked about, like the premarital and the dating phase and the marriage and the honeymoon phase and stuff. Like if you've done that and you've dove into that in the right way and you've built a relationship on the right way and on the right foundation, though you're not set up to be crumbled. You are set up and you have a true foundation that has cemented you and your spouse as one. Right. And it is a bond that's inseparable. There's a lot of, I see a lot of times, like, I mean, talk about like the amount of men that discuss, getting divorced because of so many different things or going through separation or through divorce or talking about like postpartum issues that their wives are having or issues with kids or finances. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. First of all, you're looking outwardly on your relationship to men that can't even understand and fathom because they're not in your situation. You need to go home, bro. Go home.
Yeah.
Sit down with your wife.
Right.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a problem at home, I come home. Now, I don't leave home. I don't go looking for something else.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's never going to be a solution.
Yeah.
Never going to be a solution. And I know a lot of men have a hard time. And don't get me wrong, there are situations, right? And we have to put the asterisk there. I'm not a domestic violence is an issue, right? Like, I mean, let's be honest, domestic violence is an issue. There's some other check boxes and things that can happen. Am I a proponent for divorce? No, but I mean, there is reality that does step in and occur, right? For various things. And we've tried, like, okay, I'm not saying you're bad people for that. I'm just saying, like, put some freaking effort into it, bro. Like, go get some flowers and mean it. Get the nice flowers or the shitty ones. Go pick them out of a field for her. Get your boots dirty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's more that we can do to this. You know what I mean? And don't accept don't need or request a thank you. Do it because you love her. Do it because you need to. Do it because it's your responsibility. right? To do that. That's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I feel like we circled the mental health perspective, and we have a lot of
That's
little
good.
perspectives in there. So I don't know. I mean, what else you got? Hopefully that's some understanding of a question here.
Yeah.
What else
No,
you
I
got?
think it's good. No, I like the conversation. I think that it kind of goes back to some of what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with, being vulnerable, and not just vulnerable. We were talking a little bit more in the vulnerability phase about others, like friendships and those kinds of things. But being vulnerable with your spouse
Oh man,
is a whole different ball game, right?
taking me years to understand what true vulnerability meant with my spouse.
Yeah.
Like, that
Uh,
is not an overnight thing. If you think you're vulnerable, you're not vulnerable, right? If you think it's okay for them to see you naked, right? Like, that's not vulnerable, right? Like, that's not vulnerable. Being vulnerable is when you do break open the deep, dark thoughts that you have. I'm not saying being vulnerable is telling them that you have a porn addiction. That's being honest.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? And then talking to them about it and letting them understand it and the work with you through it. That's being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that there's a deeper side to this thing here that we have going on.
Sure,
So
absolutely. And speaking to we're talking a lot from the man's perspective,
Sure.
but speaking to the woman, to the wife out there as well, because the other side of the coin is that maybe they are vulnerable, or maybe they are coming to give them flowers or to apologize, and yet the spouse is like, nope, not entertaining that. Nope, you've done too much. No, I'm not. I'm gonna still be angry or whatever. And both sides. I mean, both sides have to come together to
Absolutely.
create this resolution. And that's probably a part of it as well. Is that women are probably better at that, as far as they want that, right? They want you to come and say, I was wrong, or I'm sorry, or here's the flowers, sort of thing. Men might have a harder time um, doing that action. But when a man does do that, and his spouse says, I'm not buying it, or I don't want to be a part of it, that conflict just grows and grows and grows. And, Satan uses that to build up these situations that can occur, after that.
Oh, you're right. You're right. The word of but, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Apologizing and throwing the word but in there doesn't get you anywhere. It null and voids your apology. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it's all of a sudden your apology just became worthless. The bouquet of flowers that you just bought became worthless. And that but is like, there's like a 48-hour, 72-hour rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, hey, I gave this to you, and then a couple hours later you're like, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And there's bigger pictures to that. You know what I mean? You want to have the conversation, have the conversation. Don't try to fake it. We're not faking things out with flowers. We're not faking things out with a false narrative, by no means. That's where mental health is a struggle. Right? I mean, that's where men can ruin women, by it, to be very demanding. And we got to be careful of that. Like, they're gentle creatures. These women are, right?
Yeah.
They're delicate flowers. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful. We have to work through that. You know what I mean? And that's the weird scenario. And we don't know that as men, and we don't realize that our words come with that are their weapons. Our actions are weapons. Everything is weaponized of us, not because we choose to. It's because of the other side of this. They're delicate flowers.
Right.
That is the reality. I don't care if your wife is quote unquote not delicate, she's still delicate, right? Like, right? Like, they are like, that is it through and through. That's it. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to unpack there.
Yeah.
Whole lot.
Yeah. What do you think is the answer? If there was if there was an answer, what would it be
Or which part?
for dealing with these certain crises or these certain situations that occur.
I honestly, and I know we've beat the dead horse tonight in this conversation, and that's a terrible analogy to use, but that's the reality. I've used that a couple times today, so I feel like it's stuck in my head.
You've used beat the dead horse
in today's
and
multiple times today.
Like, so you've beat the dead horse with the dead horse.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. If you personally are not aligned with Christ, being aligned with other people is just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. If you're not sitting there and aligning yourself with Christ, like, that's my view of it.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, if like you're not in the Word, you're not speaking to Him, you're not having a conversation with Him, you're not praying about it, you're not letting Him lead you, you're not you're not being patient in the situation. If you're not doing that, like, I understand you're going to have struggles because I've been there. Like, I wanted to control, I wanted to manage, I wanted to handle, I wanted to do all that. So like, but not having any abilities to do that stuff.
Yeah, like, the vertical horizontal relationship. If you're not vertical, you can't be horizontal.
Can't at all.
And yeah, I mean, I think that is the answer, right? It's so simple and it's so complex and all at the same time, and it's just simply being aligned with the Lord.
Yeah.
And that's easy to say from, I feel like, our vantage point.
That's why I'm struggling with to answer from the, there's been conversations with the podcast that have gone out there, where people are like, why are we allowing these posts to come out, like this podcast post to come out, and it's like shoving religion down our throats, and we minimally talk about it. Like, we don't talk about it crazy. This is the most we probably, I would say, like in a full frontal of conversation had about one. But in reality, I feel so firmly about it that it needs to be there. On the flip side of this, I'll be honest with you, about the only thing I can tell you is just be vulnerable with your spouse. So if I didn't have the Lord, I would say, first of all, go get the Lord in your life. Like, that would be the scenario.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the Lord in your life, you need to be vulnerable with your spouse. And I think that's just me trying to be fair to the other side of the other people that are not willing and not ready to take the step towards the Lord. So that's okay if you're not willing to, like, then there is a step maybe you could be willing to take, right? And, outside of that.
Yeah. And vulnerable with other people in general. Like, maybe you don't have a spouse, or maybe you don't have, someone you can confide in, maybe it's friends, or maybe it's family, or maybe it's, just people in general.
Yeah.
But I think vulnerability at some level, the Lord will use that.
That's why I bring up that. I 100% that's why I bring up. Now, I will kind of stop you on one of those points you just made right there. We have to be careful as men and women, right? If women are watching this, we have to be careful. There's a piece of this that we have to be worried about. Don't be vulnerable with somebody that you're not married to. There are things that you shouldn't. Okay, let me split that. There are things that you need to be vulnerable with your spouse about, and there's things you should be vulnerable with your brothers in Christ. I'm not being vulnerable with a sister in Christ, though. Right? So let's break that out. I think the deadliest sin we could all have is being vulnerable with a sister in Christ without my wife present.
Yeah, in that situation, you're right. And
that's throw that out there. It's like let's make sure we hear this, right? Like, I don't want the world to go, well, man, he said be vulnerable with people, and I'm at work, and Sally Sue come up and talk to me. No. You run away, you close that door, and you walk out the back door, and you leave.
Yeah.
Like, you disappear.
Yeah. In this situation that I was explaining, though, you wouldn't even have a spouse, right?
Sure.
So folks that don't have,
I got you. Yeah.
Folks that don't have a spouse, like, okay, well, they're not. We pepper this with a lot of spousal talk.
Oh yeah.
So you don't have a spouse. So maybe you have a significant other, girlfriend, boyfriend. You have a friend or something. What I'm saying in that sense is that, still be vulnerable with people who are there to support, there to help you.
Yeah.
And of course, yes, keeping the relationships appropriate and maintaining.
Some people struggle with that.
Yeah,
I mean, majority of people struggle with that, and I think that's men and women, because it's easy for us to receive something that we're not receiving at home with somebody that's like a innocent third party, right? Because for the most part, they're innocent. They don't know what they're doing. They're just being nice. And an innocent third party will sit here and just agree with you. And it always will agree with that you're doing okay. Ryan, you're doing great tonight. Like, you've done everything that you needed to do, Ryan. Thanks. Oh, I mean, how could she do that? How dare her? You know what I mean? Like, that's always the way. It's never like, Ryan, you're an idiot. Go home to freaking your wife. That doesn't ever happen. You know, and if it does, we don't hear that. We don't hear that at all. So, and whether it's a spouse or girlfriend or significant other or anything, like, we never hear that. So, I mean, I think that crosses all lines of the board. I find it funny, and we talked about finances and stuff like that. That is the thing from Dave Ramsey. He talks about a lot. He goes, he always will. He can spot from a bajillion miles away if somebody's married or not. When they call in to talk on the show, they're like, just by the way people talk about their finances, and men or women will talk about it. He'd be like, "Are you guys not married?" And then his first statement is like, "It's not your problem." Like, there is some very finite perspectives that we have to get by and get behind. So, and if you've not watched that, I'm not like, I enjoy his stuff and I can follow his stuff, right? But like, I don't agree with every bit of it. But you know, it's like, but there's bits and pieces of that I think that's very, very true. It's very valid. And especially in where we're at in our relationships and how we're doing things, and I think eventually we'll talk about like that premarital, how that looks and what that should look like, in my opinion, versus your opinion, right? And that dating phase and the married phase and the honeymoon phase, and like, what are all those things look like? What are they going to look like for those that are just in those phases? And oh, by the way, you're having kids and now you're in the postpartum phase. How is that working with you, bro?
Right.
Like, because some people are like, I haven't. It's been 18 weeks. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Did you talk to her about it? Like, you know what I mean? Did you pray with her about it? I don't know what to tell you, right? Like, there's a whole lot of conversations we can break up. And does that solve all of our issues? Absolutely not. In theory, because if we're thinking worldly, it's not going to solve those issues.
Sure.
So, I don't know. What else you got?
A bit of foreshadowing there.
Oh, my.
By the way, we could have just led with those conversations because you keep going back to them. So I feel the passion. Like, you wanted to talk about some of those other things. That's fine. But
no. We use that as a springboard for what we're having here. And I think that opens up the doors. And I do think we'll have feedback from other people saying, hey, it was a good episode, or I like that. So I'm hoping that we can continue to get good content with this. So out to people. That's it.
Good. Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that
48 minutes flew by.
That's
we
it.
Went from 11 to 48 minutes.
I know we started.
In a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it was quick. It was good. Good conversation. No, I mean, Nala did not come back. I don't know where she went, but
eating all the beef liver.
Yeah, she's looking for us somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Cool. Guys, that's all we got for you tonight. I'll get this out there just like normal. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the overall aspect of this. We've tried to hyper focus in on the conversations and just dig a little bit deeper. That's the goal at the end of the day. If you like what you're seeing and you have feedback, you have questions, and one of the things that I would like to do is break open the Bible on here and get some biblical, factual stuff. I'm not very good at that, so that's a fault of mine, but it's a challenge of mine to also be confident enough to do it. So we'll eventually get there, right? We're using some very loose terminology, trying to slow play this conversation, right? Get into it, but I think we'll eventually, right, break open the word in a real way, right? It's not just like us what I'm saying and my feels, because that's a reality. I am just giving you my feelings, right, over the way the Bible leads me. And I don't want it to be just a bunch of buzzwords and us breaking down one little minor Bible verse and how it fits our narrative. We want the whole context to be understood and what God's word is saying and being applicable.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that other podcasts. Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts out there that deal with these conversations or deal with these topics, but they don't necessarily go back to the word. They don't go back to the Lord. So it's a confusing time.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
confusing time for people, for men, for brothers and sisters, folks growing up. I'll tell you a story in a little bit offline. Not now. I don't want to get it going again, but just kids growing up right now, and just I've heard a couple stories recently, and I'm thinking like, man, okay, this is again not what I dealt with or not what I remember dealing with when I grew up.
Yep.
And these were the supports that I had in those situations. They're basically gone now because
Absolutely.
nobody uses common sense, but also nobody kind of there is no, when I talked to my dad, not to kind of go back on a tangent here, but with in his day, what would happen? You did something on the desk, paddle, whipped, right? I mean, that was just it. That was how it went. Then our day, you get these things, suspensions, you get, with time with teachers involved. Now it's like, no, you did it. Okay. Back to school, just don't do it again.
Does that make you feel really bad? That's the question. Do you feel bad? Are you feeling ashamed of yourself because you had to do that? We're going to let you go back to school because you feel ashamed. And that would be unfair if we punished you because you're ashamed.
That's exactly what's happening. Yes, that's what's happening, and it's getting, and because no one can offend anyone, no one wants to get sued because the parents out there ready to sue somebody, right? And I feel like in 20 years from now, it's going to be just a free for all.
Absolutely,
you do whatever you want. We don't want to offend you. We don't want to touch you. We don't want to.
Yep.
And
I feel bad for our kids and my son and my daughters and their future marriage. And man, I don't know. I heard this a long time ago. I have 2 points left, and we keep dragging this along here.
Yeah,
but like, I have been praying for my kids, right? I heard this in a sermon a long time ago. Like, our job is to be praying not just for our kids, but our kids' kids and our kids' kids, right? Like, I have been praying for them because, like, and the reality of it is, like, my goodness, what they're going to be faced with one day, right? Like, they don't have the luxury, and this is the second point. They don't have the luxury of calling the house. And I heard a comedian say this, and it's always stuck with me. They don't have the luxury of calling the house and hoping that she answers and not dad or mom or grandma or sister or brother, and having a sub conversation with them to figure out who it is to try to lie our way around the scenario so we can just talk to the girl that we wanted to call. Bring. Oh, it's dad. Yeah. Who you calling? Beth. I'm calling for Beth. What do you want Beth for? Well, we're in class together. And now breaking open a conversation and having a real conversation with people. I'm trying to figure out how to put a landline like that back in our house, so that's how my kids have to communicate. I literally want to pick up the phone from the dude and be like, scare him half to death. Scare him half to death, like with questions.
Yeah.
Right? The same thing goes. Like, do we fear going to prom anymore? Is that even a thing? Is that like a real thing, right? Going to prom anymore, and he's going to ask to prom and ask me to ask her to go to prom, plus come to the house I'm going to give the talking to? Reminds me of, oh man, no, it's not. I feel like it's like The Rock's on it, and they're like thieves. Den of Thieves. Den of Thieves, if you've not seen that movie, fantastic movie. Den of Thieves, his daughter is going to prom, and all the gangsters that are with him, right, that are thieves as well, but you don't know it because he's a police officer.
Yeah.
So, like, at this point in the movie, you don't know what's happening. They take him into the garage, and all these dudes are in there, and they're, like, looking at him like, we don't have that anymore. Like, there's none of that. I'd probably get sued if that happened.
You know what that reminded me of? It was Spider-Man. I think it's Spider-Man Homecoming, where he's taking the daughter of the evil villain out. They're going to a dance. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, and he's like so nervous. I'm sitting there thinking like, is he nervous because he's taking the daughter out, or taking, he just found out that he's the evil guy that he's been fighting this whole time, and he's Spider-Man. Does he know that he's Spider-Man, kind of thing?
Who knows?
But yeah, it's anyhow.
We don't have to deal with that anymore.
No.
Right? We're all hiding behind iPhones and tickety talk and all this stuff, and it's just a facade of things.
Is it weird? Last thing.
That's fine.
Is it
We're here now.
weird? And I have friends that do this, so mind those folks that might be listening. But I have seen more and more where the parents of the daughter's boyfriend or the son's girlfriend like become like almost best friends with that kid.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen
weird.
have you seen that?
I've seen that. Nah.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, no. Isn't it weird?
It's-
I mean, I see it and I just saw something like
I'm gonna
today.
be mortal enemies with that child.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
He's gonna earn every stripe, like as he should. I feel like there's like a rite of passage of understanding that, but then I guarantee I'm gonna make sure that he is absolutely fit to take my daughter.
Yeah.
Right? That's it, to take my daughter's hand. Because at that point in time, like, right? That's it. Now I'm here for my daughter. I'm there, right? But the reality of it is, family has grown. Boom, you're off. That's it. Right? Like that is the scenario. Like we are cool. That is your family now. I need to make sure he's fit.
Yeah, not after prom, but
no, I'm talking like holistically the whole thing. But like, and then I become friends. Like, I mean, we'll be friends.
Well, I'm talking down the road, but yeah, people are doing that like day one. Like
no.
It's weird.
No.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, maybe friends with their parents or something.
Yeah,
but man, that's just I don't know.
Weird stuff going on out there. I don't know. You know,
world is weird. How do we get to this?
I don't know how we got to it, but somebody needed to hear it because we got to it. So
yep,
there's someone out there that's probably like, oh wait, that's me. Ryan is talking about me.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
anyhow,
hopefully you guys have had fun. You've stayed with us for 57 minutes. We're going to get off here. We appreciate it. Definitely follow us, like, subscribe. We're getting a lot of traction in a lot of places. Really appreciate you guys. Make sure you comment. If you're finding anything that is interesting, if there's any button of topic, if you have questions about what we are talking about, if you want to ask us a question that we can go over in a future video, definitely put it out in YouTube as been a good spot, or in a social media group that you're seeing us, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So,
and shout out to all of our new international viewers. We have Manchester United, London, England. We've got some folks in Australia that tuned in this last couple weeks. So yeah, hello everyone out there, or as they say in Australia, what do they say? Oh,
down under. I don't know.
No, what do they say? Hello, hello, governor.
Oh
there
it is. We're not doing that. No. Guys, this was a lot of fun.
We've had one
you guys definitely check it out. Thanks, guys.
What's up, Dad? Hey, Dad. What's up?